The matchup with DeMar DeRozan seemed to get a little bit intense there. Walk us through that matchup the whole night. Just the importance of snapping back and getting a big win on the road.
Really important. We didn't like the way we played yesterday. I don't think we put enough energy, effort, and force into it, especially on the defensive end. Wiping our minds quickly and then being able to play the style of basketball that we know we can play and we're capable of playing on both sides of the ball was really key for this game.
Is there a responsibility felt with that first five, even if it's not just the scoring, but just getting off to a good start?
Yeah, just the energy. We can't control, if shots and stuff are going in, but we can control our mindset, our approach, and our energy and effort. And tonight we had both. Making the right plays and then putting in the right effort. And I thought that kind of got the game going for us. And then the energy fed through the whole team. The second unit came in and was able to sustain the effort and energy that we started off the game with.
Look at a guy like Simone, who was out of the rotation, and now he's just been such a huge impact. Earlier on in your career, you probably had moments like that too. And what's the key to staying locked in?
He's a professional. He's played in different leagues at this level for a long time. I've talked to him early in the season when I saw that he fell at the rotation, and he's been positive. All he cares about is winning. And when he comes in, he's going to go out there and try to play the right way and impact winning and support the guys that were getting minutes at the time. But he knows. I always tell him when he comes in, he's a three-point shooter. He's a flamethrower. So if he sees a good shot, take it. Tonight he was able to spread the floor tonight, and then also just his energy and effort and crashing the glass, getting the second opportunities since we made that switch as a team, crashing the glass. He's done a great job these last few games, getting us extra possessions and being able to get us extra three-point shots.
Pelle's kind of turning into an enforcer or a guy of toughness for you guys, and how can that type of person impact a team?
It's just the mentality and approach, not being able to back down from anybody, and that, like I said, resonates with the team. We're going to make a stand. We're going to be gritty. We're going to be tough. We don't mind if it's going to get in the mud and guys are going to get chippy. We're not going to back down, and that's the style of brand that we need to play going forward, and I think that's what this Heat organization has been. If we're not making shots, we're going to make it a tough physical game, and Pelle brings that energy and identity, and I think everybody sees that and we rally behind that.
You and Bam got started from long range. Everyone else kind of followed. What did you like about the profile and looks you guys got tonight?
I liked them a lot. I saw that they had pressures on me. It took me a little bit to see how they were guarding me, if they were going to blitz me off pin downs or pick and rolls. But once I saw that they were going under and feet below the three-point line, like I say, if you're below the three-point line, I'm putting it up. So I was able to make shots, and then being able to get into the paint and find the kick-out sprays from collapsing the defenses. I thought we did a great job of that, and then everybody was able to do that and get some good three-point looks up.
Too, and just that moment, what it means for a guy like you to have that type of reception.
Yeah, it's a lot of love out here in SAC, man. It was an amazing 3 years, ups and downs, and the fans still show love, and even when I'm not on the team, they show love. So just a lot of love. Shout out to Doug, man. He was kind of in my ear the whole time I was here, going through those ups and downs, and being that mentor for me, kind of trying to get my confidence up no matter what situation I was in. So, yeah, man, Doug's a really good coach, a really good guy, and I'm glad he's got the whole head coaching job over there.
You had another really high assist night, but you didn't take a lot of shots. When did you realize that you can impact this game at this league without having to score all the time?
When I first got in the league, I think that it's a lot more things to do on the floor to impact the game and scoring. It's going to be moments when they kind of need me to score, and I try to get the buckets I can, but at the end of the day, I just try to get my teammates involved, make my teammates better, and get into the paint is what I do, and when they collapse, I just make the easy read. I kind of make the game simple.
The 45-point second quarter, is that just what it was, or what did you see out there? You guys really went off there.
Yeah, we're just moving the ball. When we moved the ball and kind of played with one another instead of just kind of taking the tough shots, I think we kind of got mixing it in the third quarter a little bit, so we kind of had to keep the ball rolling. Get into the paint, swing, because we got a lot of guys that can make plays. We got a lot of guys that can score, so we got to make sure we can share the ball and get the best look we can.
When you got a young guy on your team like Myron who plays with so much energy, but now he's earning these opportunities, and I don't know if you've given him any advice, but if you could, what would that be?
keep the same energy, bro. Be the same person. Don't change, no matter if you're starting, no matter if you're not playing at all, because it gives us energy. Especially when you get the other team mad, you kind of spark something up for us, because there's going to be some nights that we're dead, especially after a back-to-back. You kind of, your legs are tired, so you kind of feeling a little bit. So when you got the energy from the men's guy like Myron, like, you kind of need that.
All right. Thanks, Davion.
Shot around 50% on those threes, and Bam hit about 3 or 4 of them himself. What was working for you guys tonight on that?
I mean, we were just taking the best looks. No matter if we miss or make them, we're just gonna take them. Tonight we were making them, so I think we just kept the ball rolling, kept making the easy plays, and he's taking those tough shots.
Was that part of the scouting report? The Kings seem, kind of struggle in that department when it comes to defending threes.
I mean, I think that's just scout. That's kind of the way we play, honestly. It's not really just the Kings. I think the way we play is getting to the paint and make the open read. And a lot of times the bigs, when the bigs are guarding Bam, they kind of try to go block shots, and he can shoot the ball, so I don't know why they do it. But, I mean, if he keeps making those shots or keep taking those shots, we love it.
I got to ask you, remember those times you be riding around Midtown on that bike, working out? Yeah. You miss those days?
Oh, yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I do miss those days. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, Miami weather a lot better, but you know how it is. Yeah.
Thank you.
Super solid night, but I do want to dig into the playmaking with the 9 assists. What did you see out there tonight?
Well, I got probably like 4 or 5 in a row of the same inbounds play, just Simona and Bam. But otherwise, just playing how we want to play, just drive, kick.
Man behind you there. The matchup with DeMar DeRozan seemed to get a little bit intense there. Walk us through that matchup the whole night.
I didn't say nothing. I didn't start nothing. All I said was the same that he said. All I said was what he said to me back to him. So, but it was just basketball.
Earlier tonight, Spo was telling us that you've been able to translate basically the same type of play that you did in college into the NBA. Obviously, this is such a higher level of basketball. Do you feel that too? And how have you been able to translate so smooth?
I think a few things in our offense now is similar to what we were doing at Arizona, so that definitely helps. Some things are the exact same where I can feel comfortable, but I think it's more just having another year under my belt with these guys, with the coaches, them, learning from them, and they're hard on us, but for good reason. They believe in us, so I've just been trying to learn, and feel way more comfortable.
21 made threes. Was it just that they went in tonight, or was there something special about the way you guys were able to get them off and the profile of them?
No, I think we drove to the rim, and then they collapsed, and we kicked it out a lot, which was very good. But then also, I feel like when we're crashing a lot, that takes off some pressure, and also you miss a shot, you crash, it's very likely you're going to get another 3 out of it. So, a lot of good chances.
Okay. Thank you.
Intention. We brought a force to the game. Defensively, they were able to score, at times, but it was just the force, the intentionality. There felt like a collective spirit, right from the tip, and then we were able to maintain that. A lot of guys had contributions. I can go down the list, but obviously Bam was very good. Pelle just continues to grow. He's doing a lot more playmaking now, but he brought a force to the game on both sides of the court, and it just kind of became contagious.
I know you're not in Bam's head, but what do you think is required? I know you're not in Bam's head, but what do you think is required for him to kind of recalibrate so quickly and have a night like he did after last night?
It's just to lean into, being the competitor that he is. If there's going to be some games where you miss shots, but you can, especially him, he has this great versatility that is so uncommon that he can impact the game, however his offense is going. Tonight he was decisive, on his catches and shot the ball great and had some great catch-and-go drives. But he was also anchoring a lot of the physicality and the stuff on the other end defensively. So it was a complete game, from him. Wiggs quietly had a very good game too. Setting the tone defensively. Either he's guarding Levine or DeRozan, just depending on the possession. and then offensively, he just does a lot of things in our offense where he makes it look easier than it actually is.
Sacramento struggles guarding the paint or the rim. They give up a lot, but you guys hit a lot of threes tonight. And so did you get a sense very early once you guys started hitting that was going to sustain through the night?
No, how many did we hit?
21.
Yeah, okay. I mean, we had 15 at halftime. As long as we're taking the right shots, there were a few shots inside the paint that were forced. There's probably more than a half dozen, probably 8 to 10 that were forced, contested at the dots, where we could have gotten something better and trust our principles a little bit more. But we just want guys, being decisive. If you have an open shot, shoot it. Don't overthink it. As long as it's within the context of what we're doing, and we'll continue to get better with that.
Myron was called on early for energy, but now it seems like he's providing more than just energy. What do you like the most about what he's giving you guys?
I think he's providing value right now. He was given some opportunities because of injuries and guys in and out. You have to go deeper into the bench sometimes, and then now he makes you raise your eyebrows. He makes you go back to the film and watch him a little bit more closely, and ultimately that's what you want, from not only your young players, everybody, but make me watch you, then make me play you, and you do it with your actions. And it's not guaranteed. I don't know if he'll play the next game, but I really like what he's doing. His energy is contagious. The guys like playing with him. You feel him and see him and sense him, immediately when he's into the game.
Coach, Simone had 15 points, 5 threes, but he also had 7 rebounds after having Simone.
Yeah.
After having 8 last night. Has there been a message for him to be more active on the glass, and what have you kind of seen from him and his intention to attack the glass?
Actually, all season he's done the intangible stuff really well. That's been a nice surprise. He's been very good in our team defense. He's been good at rebounding at his position. Good at containing, off the dribble. And then moving without the ball, he helps our offense. And so he doesn't have to overthink it. He can impact the game, whether he's making threes or not. But then when he gets ignitable, then he can break quarters open. And, well, everybody wants him, just to have a free mind. If he has an open shot, let it fly. And shooters, you have to have that kind of freedom of mind, because there'll be ups and downs. But the role player stuff, he's been very good at.
And then Pelle had 9 assists tonight. What have you kind of seen from his development as a playmaker, especially this season?
Yeah, that secondary playmaker. So it's not always necessarily at the point guard position, but he's got a great feel to get into the paint and make the appropriate reads. I think he's our best lob passer. He's good on sprays. And then if you don't bring an extra defender, he's a very good finisher, as well. He's just gaining confidence, and we want that. Okay, thank you.